Hey guys, Rumblysuperset here, back again, and this time I'm bringing you guys even more footage of Rona, the Berserker hero coming to a Vainglory near you on July 2nd, officially announced today from the time I'm recording this. Pretty happy about that. That just means that we have a lot of content coming our way on July 2nd, as well as Android, because Android's getting the full release. It's coming out of beta on July 2nd as well. So this game's going to grow at an immense rate from July 2nd onward, I feel. So the community is going to grow, but we're also going to have a lot of new players. But this new ranking system, casual and ranked, is really going to keep that in check, so I'm pretty happy about that. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Rona, the new hero Rona. Rona is a deadly berserker who is always ready to leap into battle. She holds her own in melee combat, unleashing enormous damage on everyone who stands and fights. Rona is best played in the jungle, pairs well with protectors, and works well with both weapon and crystal builds. So you can go crystal power and weapon power. That's pretty standard for most heroes, but we'll probably find out which one's better, and that's what most people will play. Just to be brutally honest. But I will definitely do a video on each to kind of get an idea of which one I prefer. Let's talk about her heroic perk, Berserker's Fury. Rona's attack is 50% faster than most heroes. So her basic attacks by default are 50% faster than most other heroes. I don't know why they say most. Maybe there's going to be some in the future with even more attack speed, who knows. But she deals only 80% damage with each attack. So her basic attacks do less damage than most other people. Additionally, Rona's abilities use Bloodrage instead of energy, a unique resource that is generated from basic attacks, kind of like Arden, abilities, and taking damage from enemies. This caps at 100 and decays when Rona leaves combat. Energy and energy regeneration from items is converted to in-combat Bloodrage generation. So, even if you get energy and energy regeneration items, that energy regeneration that you get from them, which then turns into Bloodrage generation, doesn't take effect until you're in combat. So don't expect to be just walking around doing nothing and you get your full meter of Bloodrage. You have to be in combat according to this description right here. So that is a little unfortunate. That means a lot of times there might be things you can't really do until you have that Bloodrage. Okay, so let's talk about Into the Fray. Rona leaps into battle, gaining Bloodrage from colliding with enemies. Okay, it doesn't say enemy heroes, it just says enemies. So it can be minions and enemy heroes. She also gains damage reduction based on the number of enemy heroes she hits. Okay, so you get Bloodrage from basically hitting anything with Into the Fray. But she also gains damage reduction based on the number of enemy heroes she hits. So if she hits all 3 enemy heroes, she gets the maximum damage reduction. After a short delay, the ground ruptures, slowing enemies who pass over it. So wherever she lands, there's like a radius of slow, the rupture, that when they walk over it, it runs slow. It's kind of like a goop, sort of. So if you don't ignite it. But yeah, so it's kind of like a soft CC. It's a pretty interesting ability because you can use it for not only an engagement, so a gap closer, or potentially to get away. So that's pretty nice. And Foe Spitter, or I keep saying Spitter, Foe Splitter. Rona lunges to her target. So this girl has a lot of gap closing. She has Into the Fray, she leaps into battle, so that's a gap closer. Foe Splitter, Rona lunges to her target. God, she's gonna be sticky. Alright, so Rona lunges to her target, landing a basic attack and gaining Bloodrage. Of course, it's like all her abilities give Bloodrage, except for maybe her ultimate. Briefly after using this ability, she can reactivate it to attack again. So she can attack twice with this. The first one's just the damage that is shown in the description, plus whatever ratios it has. And then the second time, after you activate it the second time, it takes all your Bloodrage and consumes it all, and gives you extra damage based on the number of points in Bloodrage you have, applying a mortal wound to her target. The damage of the second attack is increased for each point of Bloodrage consumed again. Additionally, the cooldown of this ability is reduced by Rona's basic attack. So the more attack speed you have means the more basic attacks you're putting out, meaning the faster you can use Foe Splitter over and over and over. Sort of like Koshka or Arden with their Koshka's abilities, or Arden's Blood for Blood. So we have that. I can definitely see Alternating Current really working with this. Even though, you know, I think I might do Weapon Power. I think Crystal Power might be the way to go too. If you do Alternating Current, because she does have that increased attack speed just by default. So Alternating Current is more effective on her than anybody else, it seems, for the most part. Let's talk about Red Mist. Rona begins an axe-wielding whirlwind, continually dealing weapon damage to nearby enemies. So her ultimate is based off of weapon power, not crystal power. So that kind of changes my idea that CP might be the way to go. Maybe CP is more single target, unless Into the Fray has like CP ratios. I don't know. Looks like maybe weapon power might be numerous targets. Kind of different than Vox. It's like the other way around. Okay, so she continually deals damage to nearby enemies. During the whirlwind, she can move freely, but at a reduced speed. So you want to use this wisely, because you will definitely be slowed by quite a bit, probably. I would say at least by half. I'm watching the video and it looks like she moves pretty slow. She can cancel the ability at any time by reactivating it or using another ability. Red Mist requires at least 75 Bloodrage to activate. Remember, you have 100 total Bloodrage you can get. It takes 75, so 3/4 of your total Bloodrage pool required to use Red Mist. Excuse me. So that's kind of interesting. So as far as Rona, and what I'm thinking is, I don't really know Into the Fray whether or not it has CP weapon power ratio. It doesn't say, or if it even has any ratios at all. But from reading Red Mist, how it does weapon power damage, and it's an AoE, it looks like weapon power might be the way to go as an AoE type of build, because you can do a lot of attacks with attack speed. Actually, I think it's better all around, because think about this. You have 50% increased attack speed by default. So then if you're stacking more attack speed and just damage in general, weapon power, you can use your foe splitter more often than the CP, because CP only has alternating currents. But you got like Tornado Trigger, you got Breaking Point, you got Bone Saw, and you got a lot of attack speed on weapon power. So foe splitter you can use quite often with weapon power, given all that attack speed. Red Mist, you can definitely do more damage with weapon power and more AoE. Into the Fray, no ratios shown, so I don't really know how that one kind of correlates into the builds, but I think just as an initiator, it's really valuable. So I think weapon power is the way to go. The only reason why I would say CP might be good is if Into the Fray does have a CP ratio and it's fairly strong, because then you can use that potentially and do quite a bit of damage with that for AoE. And maybe it even increases, I don't know if it does, but maybe if it does increase the damage reduction, maybe you can even go tankier by going for CP. That'd be kind of cool. Trying to think how else CP would be useful for this. Damage secondary increased by the Bloodrage consumed. Yeah, I don't see how CP would be better, but we'll have to find out, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, though. Definitely interesting. Way different than any hero so far that I can think of. I mean, you still have the lunges, you still have like the damage abilities. The AoE is kind of like Glaive's like AoE sweep for his ultimate, but it probably doesn't do as much burst damage, and the whirlwind lasts longer, so probably like it evens out to be just as much damage, but over time maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I am definitely looking forward to playing this hero. So hopefully I'll see you on the Halcyon Fold, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.